Hi everybody, Azid from Quiddity Group. So let me tell you the movie that's going to be playing in 2026. I can straight away tell you what's going to happen to landlords. It's called housing standards. Literally thousands of tenants are going to start to ring housing standard, file complaints to housing standards in the local area for just about anything and everything. And therein lies the problem, because where there is a good reason to change the laws around and making it more tenant friendly, what's going to happen is going to be huge deluge of, and relatively speaking, abuse of this newfound power. Why do I talk about this? Well, actually, today I got off a call from one of our managing agents down in the southwest of England. We bought a few blocks there. Actually, the blocks are pretty decent condition, but there's one guy there that is not happy with new change, or we are optimizing the rent to market rent. So all of a sudden, lots of problems are happening. This guy and the partner has been there for over 5 years, maybe even longer before us. So we bought it 6 weeks ago. Went in, had that conversation. What's the problem? What can we fix? What can we do? So straight away they said there's a pest control problem. We sent on that same day. We booked the pest control. Within a week, it was going. The person gone in and fixed the problem, and went back in to check. 2 weeks later, and it was closed. There was a boiler problem with one specifically. This is a block of 6 flats. This is talking about the one tenant, and he's now inciting all the other people to file housing standard complaints because he's convinced them that this is the way to fix things. In between that, we've been then working with our agent to say, can you go in and actually have a look at what needs to be done, get it done? And guess what? He's actually blocked the access to that property 3 times to the managing agent and the handyman that was supposed to go there. So the refrain that's going to keep happening here to you as a landlord, if you've got 1, 200, 200, you're going to see this being played out up and down the country in England. Tenants are going to go wild with the newfound reason to complain about just about anything. So in that same block, flat number 3 has convinced number 4 that the light bulb that's not working, the bath panel that's loose, that is a housing standard issue. So file a complaint to housing standard. The same lady who came out from the council to have a look at flat 3 went to look at flat 4 and said, this is not a housing standard issue. If you're saying, you were advised by flat 3 to put the housing standard issue against us and the managing agent, managing agents, that is not the case that we're going to follow. So they closed that case straight away within half an hour of going there. So, but the challenge, what you can also foresee is, well, how many housing standards officer is there going to have to be to manage when you think the housing stock, 25% of the population almost rent in this country. So if you kind of say 68 million people, a quarter of them, so what's that, 7, 20, 14, about 10 million people are in sort of form of rental accommodation. Okay, out of those, let's say half of them are private rental sector tenants. So you've got 5 million people potentially in private rental sector with a newfound reason to moan about just about anything. It could be rent increase, it could be asking them to basically get access to do something to the property, whatever it is. So my advice here, if you're listening to this and you're thinking about how you plan for this, you've got to get your systems in place. You've got to get some, if you're self-managing, really start to think about managing agents locally who are good. Good is the very big thing here. They have to have process. You have to have a online system. Don't go and look at the little business, mum and dad business running on a piece of paper that they're writing all their properties that they manage. That is not going to cut it, because when you end up in court, you need the evidence that you have. In my case, this agent had called the tenants. It was recorded, where the recording was also done when somebody rang in to actually complain. And the conversation was like, well, why are you complaining to the housing standard? Oh, flat 3 told me to do that. So all of this, you have to have the processes in place so you are able then to tackle these challenges that's going to come through. Managing the hundreds, we have no choice. We've got to do this, and we're going to get bigger. And I'm just trying to share with you what we're doing at hundreds of property level, so that you can start to learn about, well, what would you do if you got 5, 10, 15, 20? The same problem are going to come your way, but you've just got to be prepared. You've got about 6 months of this before that hits the market sometime in May, June 2026. So please think about how your processes are organized. Think about tenants that you think you might have some issues with, start to fix some problem, but also be ready and prepared that you're going to be listing. If anything, I've asked all my managing agents and property managers to go around all of our portfolio to do a stock take. We do that every quarter anyway, but just for the new ones to go in and actually speed up the kind of the house checks, if you like, make an inventory of anything that we find that needs to be done, get the tenants to sign it that that's what we've agreed to get done, and then start to execute on that. That's one takeaway that you should be doing: is have a look, go around all your properties, get the tenant to agree these are the list of works you want to be they want to get done, you need to get done, and then get that executed, because then they can't start adding 10,000 things the minute that they think they've got new rights that they can use. Thanks for watching. My name is Azid. I own Quiddity Group, Quiddity Property Education, Quiddity Sourcing, and Quiddity Wealth. We are an investment company, if you like, but I'm also teaching people how to use dead money that's lingering in banks making 2 or 3%, how to use that and to start to make 15 to 20% return on that capital by working with Quiddity Wealth. Or you can start to learn how to invest yourself by coming to learn with me on a one-to-one with Quiddity Property Education, and I take you through a whole process. This is not snake oil. This is a process that I've honed in over the last 25 years of investment, built multi-million pound property portfolio across the country, and also, more importantly, still buying today in 2026. This is not a group course. This is a one-to-one. There's accountability driven here, and it's not giving you information that you get in group courses. You get implementation here. You get the information, and then you get to do something with it. So if you want to find out more, DM me, send me a message, email azid@quidditygroup.co.uk. Go and listen to the podcast on Spotify. Have a look at our media channels on all of our social media, YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, and everything else, as well as have a look on Amazon. I've written 2 books on Amazon. Type in AZIDGUNGAH and see the 2 books I've written, so you can understand that actually this is a process that I've built over 25 years that I will then pass on to you, so that you avoid all the mistakes that I've had to do and many people do before you start to invest these hundreds of thousands of pounds and getting it wrong.